lashes and skincare for the Talk365 team is provided by Aesthetics Plus of Utah.
And welcome back to Talk 365. Holly's going to get a chance to talk to one of the best home builders in town. But I'm a huge fan of Clearwater because they're doing projects. My office during the 80s was down on 255 West, 2nd South, and I love that. And they've just torn down my old downtown storage where my office was, but I love downtown. Clearwater's doing a great project down there, but they're also up at the new library, right in back of the state capitol.
The Marmalade District.
Exactly. That is going to be a great part of town.
So
Marmalade
cool, right?
District. Yes, it has got everything.
So if you have not heard of Clearwater Homes, then this will be a great opportunity for you to check them out. And they are right downtown, and we local love downtown all the time. So here you go.
Small Talk is brought to you by University Credit Union.
Hey everybody, welcome to Small Talk. Today we are downtown Salt Lake City at Clearwater Homes, and we are joined by Micah Peters. Micah, thank you so much for letting us swing by.
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate you guys coming.
So I know you have a lot of passion projects that are happening right now and that you've done, and you love downtown. But before we get to that, I want you to go back in time a little bit and tell me how you got your start into home building.
Oh, okay. In 2004, I started working for large publicly traded home builders like D.R. Horton and MDC Holdings. And after about a decade as a senior executive for those publicly traded construction companies, I started my own company, Clearwater Homes, at the beginning of 2012.
Okay, so did you always know you wanted to be a builder? Was that a passion of yours from like being a child, or how did you happen into that?
You know, I was always around construction. My mom's an architect and a builder as well, and so I just really had a passion for architecture and design, and just kind of fell into it, really.
And what brought you to Utah?
So I was born here in Salt Lake City, moved away, and then came back in high school, and so it just it's really my home, Salt Lake City.
So mom and dad, everybody's here.
Absolutely, yep.
Very good. And so starting your own business in 2012, I know that it was a little bit of a tough time.
Absolutely, it was really the dregs of the Great Recession, and clearly the real estate market was in trouble. A lot of people were kind of running for the hills. Our strategy when we started the company was that we really wanted to have two divisions, a downtown Salt Lake City division, as well as a single family division. We really felt strongly that the public transportation infrastructure in Salt Lake City was perhaps 15 to 20 years ahead of its time, and that the residential infill around that public transportation infrastructure wasn't there, but there was a fabulous opportunity. With that in mind, we just proceeded to purchase assets at the end of the recession in downtown Salt Lake City.
And you have one project in particular that you took over, and I read an article about you in Downtown Magazine, and you had a quote that I absolutely love because I think it is probably encompasses what all small business owners feel. You said it's selling a condo or a complex is like public nudity, and I so know what it's like to put your heart out there and then just wait and see if it gets stomped on or if people buy. Tell me about that whole experience.
Yeah, well, the intention of that comment was that you do these developments and they take 3-4 years to really materialize, and along the way every day you're making all these small design decisions, and those design decisions are very subjective about your own taste or the taste of your team. So when you finally do come to market, you're really hoping that the culmination of all those decisions has created a product that is just really desirable. And so, at Clearwater Homes, design is really the central theme to what we do. We really love this modern, luxury, industrial, kind of multifamily living in downtown Salt Lake City. And that is typified by really high volume spaces with tall ceilings, lots of windows, and very organic, sustainable materials. It's development's really challenging. You have a long time till you have these monetary events, but when it really comes together, driving past your own developments with your kids, it's something you can be really proud of.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to people who are coming up either in this industry or in general have a dream of owning their own thing? What would you tell them?
Well, entrepreneurialism is, it's its own it's category.
Its own animal, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much.
And, I think that it starts with finding something that you're super passionate about, and you're very interested in. In development, I learn something new every day. And we're doing a project around the corner here, for example, called the Paragon Station. And it's an adaptive reuse project of a 73,000 square foot warehouse that was built in 1918.
Ooh.
And so the physical constraints of the existing structure, we're having to interface with them every day while we're integrating it into a condominium project. And so, you're making decisions and trying to figure stuff out, and it's intellectually very, very challenging every day. So, but it's also very satisfying and very fun. But I guess I would just say, if you want to be an entrepreneur and start your own company, find something you're super passionate about and be very decisive in your process. Don't linger in this place of ambiguity that wastes time and really becomes an energy block for your motivation and your passion for that industry.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Going out on your own at that point, how did you find a lender?
Right.
What was that process like?
Yeah, well, a lot of national banks and institutional banks are really still kind of looking in the rearview mirror about all the assets that they had to write down. So when we went out for loans on big projects like the Broadway Park Lofts and the Paragon Station, we were a small company, small boutique, developer. And even though we'd had tremendous success at the Broadway Park Lofts, really nobody would do loans for us.
Really?
And so it forced you to obviously put a lot more skin in the game, your own money. But one institution that really stepped up and had a lot of local pride was the University of Utah Credit Union. It's an institution that's very forward-thinking, very nimble, very quick, and really just has a lot of vision for what downtown Salt Lake can be. And we have a fabulous relationship. I've got some great representatives there that really have an ear for projects that don't really fit in the traditional box of lending. So, for instance, Paragon Station, I can bring something like that to those guys, and they really see the vision for it, and they come through.
And that's the one you're working on right now. That's the old warehouse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
When
Yep.
is that going to be done?
So we have a 14-month development cycle, and
Okay.
we're 12 months into it. We're going to start moving people in September of 2016.
Okay, so soon, save your pennies. And how about here at Broadway? I just got an opportunity to go look at a penthouse overlooking the whole city. It was absolutely beautiful. And I'm just curious here, Mark, with the cameras rolling, how we're coming with that check IOU. I mean, that's going to work, right? Because I can just move in.
Well, we'll have to see. There's a lot of demand over there.
I bet. Are there any left?
We have 3 left that we're going to be releasing soon. And that's a really interesting project, the Broadway Park Lofts. We spoke about it earlier, but like every great pop song, you have to have a hook, and every great development has to have a central feature that really gives the buyer an emotional response to the space. When we were looking at that project and trying to determine what that central feature was going to be, we had this 65-foot elevator shaft that really goes up the center courtyard, and we decided to put a waterfall on that elevator shaft. It's the full height, 65 feet tall, but the angle of repose from the top to the bottom of the waterfall is only 4 feet. So we were challenged with how to keep the water on the face of the waterfall. And what we kind of came up with and invented were these diffusers every 8 feet that capture that water and kind of put it back on the face. The entire waterfall is backlit by an LED system, and it's really pretty tremendous. We're happy with it.
That is awesome. So tell me what you are looking for the future, not only for Clearwater Homes, but also give me a little idea of your vision of downtown, where you'd like to see it go.
Yeah, well, we just love downtown Salt Lake City, and we really believe that it can be fabulous western mid-sized city. Again, I talked about public transportation earlier, and I think that's the core of really what's going to drive downtown development. The Wasatch Front is going to have, it's going to double its population by 2050, and we got to find a place for all these people to live. And my vision is that contiguous to our public transit corridor, that we're going to continue to entitle and build high density, mixed use, very efficient, very green developments that provide pedestrian opportunities to really circulate around the city and have an amazing lifestyle.
Moving forward, for people who are interested in contacting you or moving downtown or looking at your stuff, how does that happen?
So you can go to our website, clearwaterhomesutah.com. There's a community section there that really details all of our for sale product in the multifamily sector in Salt Lake, as well as our single family division, and then our for rent division as well.
Awesome. So move downtown, come downtown. It's super cool. Thanks again for being here. I will be right back right after this.
Small Talk is made possible by University Credit Union. Local to Utah, loyal to you.